Alright everyone, Supreme Kami over here. So in today's video I want to be showcasing up this new buff category weapon or EXP over here. This is called the Charge Up Shot Alpha over here. This is obtainable when you guys get the T-type Gundam X Divider over here. So I just want to be seeing like how viable this is going to be in terms of like using it on an EXP slot over here. So this right here allows your shot, basically any of your shot skill cooldown to instantly go down by 65% on base over here. So obviously you get this probably to I don't even think you have to use this to, like, let's say you have this at trade level 10. I don't think there's going to be much of an increase over here. So keep this in mind. I'm not really going to show this up in video. So I have tested this out via using those trade tests along the line of buff EXP effects up by whatever percentage. I don't know why it does not apply to that. This does look like to be a buff EXP, so I'm not sure why it's not really adding on to this 65%. This is crucial because this flat 65% does not equate to that much if you're looking at in the likes of like cutscene EXP. Because their first cooldown is like 120 seconds, so that might still take a long time if you're still using it. I think probably the most valuable way to, let's say, to compensate for this EXP is just basically running like a 100% cooldown build. I think that is like probably like the most solid way to do that, but we'll just gotta give it a try to see how this EXP can work. What I'm gonna be using, I have a full set of Gundam X Divider over here, plus the Gundam Double X backpack. So that's gonna be our cutscene skill we can be testing. So this is gonna be one of the slots we're gonna have to use this on, and then we're gonna have a twin satellite cannon. So keep that in mind. The first the cooldown, this one is gonna be 120 seconds. So you can just take 65% off that. You still have to wait a significant amount of time compared, let's say you have 100% or even like a 90 to or 80 to like a 90% cost down reduction build. I think that's a cost down or cooldown reduction build. I think that is still the more optimal way to be running that. But keep that in mind, this right here I can still use I can still output good damage. So that is that. So, and we are also going to be using the harmonic cannon over here. This one I do have a longer cooldown over here, so that or first time usage, so that may be a little bit of a longer way. But all right, so what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be using this on my, let's say, my offensive shooting base unit, and then after that we'll hop back once again using like a cooldown reduction build, so you guys can just see like how you guys kind of like it, whether or not you guys like the charge up shot alpha. But keep this in mind, this is more of like solely for like a shooting build or shooting build right now, as to, let's say, compare that to like a reduction EXP cooldown reduction build. That is to like a universal type, so you can use it on like any let's say melee EXQ, or not only tying it down to like shooting based EXQ. So that is going to be what we're going to be testing on right now. So let me hop into like a multi mission setup, and then we'll just kind of talk about how this EXQ can be used. Alrighty, we are at the multi-mission build over here. So as you guys can see, since my build over here, I have some initial charge boost to my EXQ. So what we can be doing right now, we can just use the twin satellite cannon right now, just right out the bat. And then what I can just use right after that, I can use to charge up shot alpha. And I mean, we were able to clean up the whole view right here. Yeah, so now we can just activate this right here. Bam. I believe I do have some, let's say, buff back skills, and I can just tell that did not take into effect. So that is, I don't know if have they not programmed that to have that thing built in as well or whatnot. But you guys can just see the harmonica cannon just kind of just went live right there already. So I would say you still had to wait pretty much a long time, and yep, my harmonica cannon just went bye right there. So we will just have to wait. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and wait just a little bit. I'll probably fast forward it, not gonna obviously have you guys wait for me, right? But we'll just kind of wait until my twin satellite cannon comes back, and then I'll have to wait for the charge, that charge up to kind of come alive again. So we can just do this right now. Go this and fire away. All right, let's do it. Man, this is such a good EXP to be using, but it's just unfortunate that they did not give it like the premium power boosting, so it's actually went up right now. So you can just do that and look at that. Harmonica cannon went back already, so that's quite fast if you ask me. But like just me using this right now, I don't think it's that much of a. I don't know. Like I don't feel like I want to use like EXQ slot on this one over here, just because the fact I can rather like. Because me personally, I have a 100% cooldown reduction bit already, so I can simply slap that on. But I think what you're compensating from this to a generic power boosting build compared to like a EXQ reduction build, I think you're just losing out the biggest factor you're just losing out on power wise, by all means. Because obviously I will need 5 portrait that gives me 20% cooldown or CD reduction, so it's gonna take 5 portrait, right? So we can just do this right now, and then within a couple of seconds, I think the charge up alpha should be up for should be up, right? Yep. So I can just do this instantly and bam, I can get this right now. So I would say you still, so that middle part you still have to wait a little bit. So that's why I don't think this one is gonna be anything too groundbreaking per se. I would say this thing is, or this EX skill is definitely good to charge up. It's definitely good when you don't run, let's say any initial skill boosting. So that's one way to kind of compensate for that. But then again, I think the charge up still has some. Let's see. Let me see what is the initial, like what is the first time usage on that, right? I think that is a factor you have to take into consideration as well. Let me see. I think there is some time limit to that, right? Let's see. Yeah, you're looking at a 9 seconds first time usage, so you would have to use let's say some of these over here, some initial EXQ charge boosting over here. So I think this time around I'm gonna run this on a, let's see, I'm gonna run it on this build over here. I'm gonna be running this on my reduction build. So it should be this one right here, and then we'll just kind of replace it with this one. Yeah, I'll just kind of replace it with this right here, and then that should be good, right? So we do that. So what's good about this build? I think a lot of people still have questions like, how am I able to consistently use my EX skill or not? You guys have to be looking at this kind of archery over here. So you need 5 of this. So that's why I think when I do my alteration like this, any like review on parts, like that's why I keep telling you guys like these parts here are good. Just EXQ CD reduction by 20%. So you need a good couple of them. I think at minimum you need 5. If you can find the liking of like these over here. These are all coming out of standard parts and even, let's say, welfare pilots. So these are completely easy to grab. So there shouldn't be any excuse for, let's say, people. I would say not excuse, but there should be no problem for you guys to be getting it. But in the likes of like, let's say, new players or just player who does not have the game knowledge at the moment, probably will be struggling. But definitely these are some kind of parts where you guys can be looking at. But I guess one factor you can be looking at, I think for right now, is probably be using this one. I still feel like this is still taking up a slot that does not need to be in. I feel like it's just taken out. It's a useless part, or not useless, but I feel like it's not mature enough to, let's say I want to put this on an EST slot. It's just, I feel like I could be using something else besides that, right? All right, so we are back once again. So I'll say probably the benefits of having like this over here, with the harmonica cannon that has an insane amount like first time usage. So I can just kind of cheese that along the way. But I would say in the longevity of like my cooldown reduction, but I'd rather just use something else. But you guys can see that in terms of like the power wise over here, you guys can see a significant drop down compared to like my powerhouse build. I was able to take down the whole squad right there. But with the likes of this build here, because I have 5 portrait that kind of sacrifice already, so that is probably going to be like the downside factor to that. So I think that's the only thing I'll just kind of say about that. But all in all, in general, I feel like if you guys are not really using custom EXQ, maybe just using 30-second cooldown EXQ, I don't think you guys really need to charge up shot output right there. I think it's more for like a last resort, for example. So I don't really like at this point in time, like just doing a few testing, I don't really see like a big benefit. Maybe this right here. like that. Because even with my CD reduction build right here, there are some portrait that kind of ties down to like HP reduction. So in the Alexa, I can just kind of cheese that in just a little bit. But by doing that, I am like, let's say, losing out a EX2 slider there, which I'll probably better off by I'd rather use something else instead. So, but like what I'm doing right here, I can just kind of constantly cheese that right there. Just providing a little bit of a better support because of my HP restriction right now. So that is that. So I can probably activate my job base right now and just kind of get some health recovery, but probably not gonna be allow me to get back up to like a 60%. So as I'm gonna cheese that once again, I can just kind of fire these foes away, right? I think in the GNL Discord server, I think there are someone that mentioned using this as in like a funnel liking. So I want to check that out as well. So I don't want to I want to see how that can be a benefit. So let me just kind of wipe these guys again, and then I'll jump into a different scenario. I'm gonna pack myself with some funnel type EX skill, and then I'm gonna see how that can be a benefit, right? So let me see if I can survive, or I want to take them out. They're just annoying to me. So let me do this again. Hopefully it doesn't knock me out of the EXQ. I probably will, right? I don't know. Let's see. Yep, it's just gonna knock me out. That's a little bit unfortunate. Can I take them out? No. Can I not? Well, just hit me right there, please. Please kill me. All right, so we're done right here. So I'm gonna hop back in with another situation where I'm gonna be using funnel. But one thing funnel you have to keep in mind that in terms of funnel EXQ wise, they cannot stack. So whatever you have on field, that is gonna be it. But what we can do with the charge of shot alpha, we can just kind of constantly rotate that up. So maybe that is a good option to be using, but we'll see, right? We'll see. Alright, so in this next up scenario, what we are going to be doing over here, so I'll keep that in mind, the cooldown for this EX skill right wise over here, you're looking at a 45 seconds over here. So what we are going to be cheesing this time around, we are going to be using a completely straight up funnel type EX skill over here. So I'll keep that in mind. These type of EX skill, first the cooldown is like a 86 seconds. Have that trait level 2 or EXQ level 2. So generally there will be 90 seconds, and then I have one more right here that is going to be the same thing on general. So what we are going to be using, I think the overall theory is like I'm going to have one up and then the other one will be on standby, right? So whenever let's say I'm going to be using this one first, let's say I am going to be using this one first, right? Whenever it's done shooting whatever, and then I can just activate. I will activate this one immediately, and then I'm gonna activate the charge up alpha, shot alpha, and then that will constantly keep reloading and reloading, right? So I think that's kind of maybe the theory I'm trying to test over here, and just trying to put this on paper into actual combat just to see how it's working. Because like right now, I don't really have that much confidence of like just using that using like the charge up alpha into like an actual EX2 slot, because I'd rather use something else, or I'll just be rather using like a completely cooldown reduction build instead. So that's kind of like some theory I'm kind of having in the thought process right now. So we'll just actually hop into that multi mission, and then we'll see how we can do. Alright, so I decided to hop into crew multi missions because I realized that the funnels, they don't hit good enough. If I were to take on the regular one, I'll instantly die right away. So you can still trying to cheese out a little bit. You guys can see that in terms of the funnel that I just used right now, it does not activate its cooldown until it comes back to me. So that is gonna be a problem. Like when you're facing right here. But what's good about having the charge up right now is I can just activate this right now, and then whenever this thing is over, whenever I finish with the high news right here, I can just instantly use the charge up and then get whatever is back. So whatever is rotating next to be the Kasashi, right? So I can instantly just use that immediately. So I don't really have to let's say wait per se, for example. So that is that. So once that comes back, I can just do this, and then that should be almost be up. So I still have to wait just a little bit. That's gonna be the unfortunate factor. So that's why I say I feel like cooldown reduction build would definitely be the better case. Even if you're looking at some funnel combo, we're looking at over here, I still think that let's say a generic cooldown reduction build is just gonna be a lot more better. So I think we should be able to cheese in the high news fin funnel right after that. So we're finna. bit of a time over here, so I'm gonna try to shoot them as well because they are getting a little bit annoying. So we're gonna be doing this right now. Bam. I think by the time I finish with the high news, I should be able to use let's say the charge up already. So let's see. Is it back already? Oh, it is back already. Yeah, look at that. Almost. I was about to say. It should be up for now. I think timer should be up for the high news. Finfino, yep, just like that. We can just use this again. Did I activate it? Oh, that did not. Yeah, that's the problem there. If you get hit, it's gonna cancel your animation because you have to wait until your animation actually gets done before you can proctor whatever um let's say the whatever the effects that needs to be. So that was a little bit of an unfortunate factor right there. But you guys can just kind of get the idea of that. I think cooldown reduction build is still superior to, let's say, the trade the EXQ the charge up alpha the shot alpha to like just look at this right now. Maybe I'm not really using it right, so do let me know that down in the comment section below. Like how would you guys even be using that, or how would you guys take advantage of that EXQ right there. So with that being said, hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of an insight right there, and do let me know if you guys know any better way of using that. So with that being said, that should be pretty much it for this testing over here, and then I will catch you guys all on the next one.